Well, hello there. Welcome to Daily Rev 502. Let's see what comes up. Now, this is something that I get my clients to do. This is something that I do. It's when, I just finished doing a daily release. So what we do inside of our program is the way that we release emotional trauma, unlock that charisma, find inner peace, develop core confidence, and destroy social anxieties by releasing emotional trauma and unlocking that real and authentic version of you. And the way we do that is by doing releases and doing meditations and doing a bunch of different things. But I just finished doing a daily release, and I come literally 4 seconds before I did this, and I do that every single day inside of our brotherhood program, inside of our coaching program, so the guys can jump on, plug me in, listen to me, and allow me to guide them through and release some of their emotional traumas and release that social anxiety. That's why we do that every single day. And before I come on here, I had a look at the number. I'm like, all right, it's Daily Rev 501 was the last one. This one's going to be Daily Rev 502. And before I could even think of an idea, I'm like, well, the first thing that popped in my head, I'm like, let's just do it. Let's see what comes up. So before I even had a chance to think about what I was going to say in this Daily Rev, I hit live. And this is what I get my clients to do. And the reason why I get them to do that, and the reason why I do this still, is because you need to learn to trust that you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have all these ideas figured out. You don't have to have a Academy Award-winning speech prepared before you go and talk to someone, before you go and socialize, or before you go and do a live video. Like, the biggest excuse that guys have, or the biggest thing that guys struggle with, is knowing what to say when they go and socialize. Knowing what to say when they do a live video. But you don't need to know what to say. And we do a let's see what comes up to prove to you that if you just throw yourself in the situation, you can learn to swim. You can learn to swim, and you just allow the words to come to you. So I had zero plan to say when I come on this Daily Rev. Zero. And that's what I'm like when I go out and socialize too. I have zero plan to say. Zero. Nada. Not a thing. But then I go in, and I allow the words to come to me just like I am now. I get out of my own fucking way, and I'm just like, alright, whatever pops in my head, I'm going to say it. I remove the filter, and I just allow it to flow. I flow, and I just start fire hosing everyone. I just start fire hosing, and I just say things that I find funny, and whatever pops into my head, I'm going to say it in a way that I enjoy it. I'm going to say it in a way that I enjoy it. If you learn to do this, you're fucking golden, man. You're golden. You can go out and just approach anyone because, well, you don't have to have an Academy Award-winning speech prepared. You just go and throw yourself in a situation and see what happens. See what comes up. You need to learn to do this. You aren't going to figure out it's like chess. Socializing and it's like chess. You don't go and have the entire game plan figured out before you approach. You just throw yourself in a situation and you place moves while you're in there. Overthinking things is actually terrible. Terrible. It's fucking terrible. Terrible. You can assess and evaluate after the social session, or you do that after. You don't do it while you're socializing. Me right now, I'm not sitting here trying to think about all the ideas that I'm working through right now. I'm just here flowing and allowing it to flow out. But most guys, including me for a long time, I went into the club for 6 months attempting to talk to some young, fine senoritas, and I didn't talk to fucking one because I didn't have anything to say. I had too much fear and anxiety. I had nothing to say. Now, I still have nothing to say, but I just throw myself in the situation and I figure it out. You'll never have everything to say. Never. And you don't want to have everything to say, because then you're just coming in with how creepy is that? That some guy wants to go up to a girl, and this was me for a long time, so I'm not saying if this is you, that's not bad. How creepy is it if someone wanted to come up to you with everything planned to say and be like, oh, I'm going to try and master this. I'm going to try, here's my projected Academy Award-winning speech. Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you want me I'll manipulate a little bit so you like me even more? That's pretty icky if you ask me. Like, imagine if I come on here on a Daily Rev and I'm like saying all these things and I'm like, hey, I'm going to say this so you like me more. I'm going to say this so you buy my shit. I'm going to say this so you like my stuff. That's pretty creepy, man. It's pretty creepy. It's pretty fucking creepy when you think about it. It's like, oh, I'm going to say things just so you like me. That's pretty manipulative. And as I said, I used to do that for a long time, and there's nothing wrong with the people that do that. When I say it in that tone, it's not like I'm like, oh, they're bad humans. It's quite normal, actually. But you want to just learn to do what I'm doing right now and just flow. Just flow. Or like we had a Q&A call today with my clients, so 3 times a week we jump on a Zoom call, and my clients jump on, and we have a chat, and they get to ask questions, and we just talk. We just talk and work through our problems. I help them work through their problems. And we were just talking about how, like, you just want to learn to flow, and we got everyone into a flow state, and everyone's telling, like, jokes that they want to tell, and they're not worried about what everyone else is going to think. They just tell jokes that they want to tell, and it was actually quite funny. It was quite enjoyable. But a lot of guys struggle with that, and they struggle with knowing what to say, but you're never going to have it all figured out. It's like trying to plan a chess game and having this grand master plan, and then going in and playing chess, and then, alright, there's one move that didn't go the way that you planned it. Now you're fucked. What you need to learn to do is you need to learn to throw yourself in the game and flow through it, and figure out the pieces while you're on the fly. Figure out the moves while you're on the fly. Figure out how to say the right things on the fly. Don't figure out the right things beforehand. Go in and figure it out. That's why I get my clients to do daily revs. I get them to do live videos because they're practicing learning to communicate and practicing learning to flow on the fly. We're pushing them in the water. So what a lot of guys try to do in socializing, when I try to do for 6 months straight, is they try and learn to swim from outside of the water. They're like, you know what? I'm going to try and swim from the ground. I'm going to try and swim from the grass. I'm going to try and swim from the sand. That's not how you learn how to swim. You learn to swim by throwing yourself in the water and figuring shit out. And that's how you learn to socialize, is you throw yourself in the situation. You just see what comes up. I had 0 plan for this daily rev, and we've been going for 7 minutes. And I'm talking to myself, so it's even harder. At least when you're socializing, it's like table tennis, and you can just keep hitting the ball back and forth. But if you can practice the art of letting it flow and just allowing it to come up, allowing it to just come out, and let's see whatever comes up. Whatever comes up is great. If you can learn to do that, you will never worry in a social situation again. Because if you just grab me and put some stranger here, and you picked me up and put me in front of that stranger, without even meeting them, without even knowing, I'll be able to figure it out. Why? Because I've practiced stuff like this. I've thrown myself in situations without being prepared, and I've learned how to swim. I don't come on here with everything planned to say. I never ever do that, not once. The only time I ever kind of do that is in our course program. So we have a course inside of my coaching program, which walks you through step by step 5 levels of what you need to do to find inner peace, develop core confidence, and fucking annihilate that parasite, which is social anxiety. So that's the kind of the only time I prepare things. Even then, I don't prepare it. I just have, like, I'll go have a look at the one that we spoke about yesterday, is how to let go and release emotional trauma. There's 40 slides there. That video went for an hour. There's 40 slides there, and that just gives me like that just allows me to kind of put my thoughts in an order, and then I guide and go through that. So there's a little bit more structure, but that's the only time I'll ever do that. That's the only time I'll ever do that. I don't do that in a daily rev. I don't do that when I go and socialize. I don't ever fucking do that. What I do is do what I did today, is hit live before I even know. If I come on and have a topic to talk about, that's different. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to talk about this today, but I still don't have anything planned. I still don't have anything planned to say. And I prove it by doing these and going, let's just see what comes up, hit live, and then whatever comes out, comes out. The only difference between this today is there was nothing planned, not one word planned, no idea of what I'm going to talk about. And Daily Rev, say 501, the one yesterday, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I had an agenda or a topic to talk about. So when I allow it to flow out, I'm flowing out within those boundaries. But when I go and socialize, when I go into a let's see what comes up, I'm just allowing it to just flow wherever it goes. And it's like, and I'm enjoying it too, because I'm like, where is this going? Well, I have no idea what I'm going to say in 2 seconds. I'm just like, where is this going? So every time something comes out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's cool. So then the right people will see that and go, fuck, that's interesting too. Why? Because it's interesting to me, and the right people for me will find it interesting as well. Because there's that overlap. So you don't want to come in with things to prepare to say. You want to just drop the front, drop your guard, be a little bit vulnerable. It is vulnerable putting yourself in these situations because you don't know what's going to happen. But you learn to trust that it's going to be okay, and you learn to trust that if you just learn to flow, it's going to be okay. And that's the biggest thing I teach my clients with social anxiety is I'm like, just don't fucking prepare anything to say. Just throw yourself in the situation and learn to swim in the water. Don't try and swim from the beach. Swim in the water. And if you want help with that, if you want help finding inner peace, developing core confidence, destroying social anxiety, and just learning to flow like this, then click the link below, schedule a free coaching call with me right now. We'll figure out where you are right now. We'll figure out where you want to be in the next 12 months, and then we'll map out a game plan so you can actually go and achieve that. And then at the end of the call, one or two things is going to happen. Either A, you'll be a right fit for me, and I'll invite you into the Brotherhood program where you'll get the coaching, the accountability, the systems you need to find inner peace, develop core confidence, and destroy that parasite that is social anxiety. So you can just start living the life that you really want to fucking live. Take the opportunities you want to take. Or B, you won't be a right fit, and that's totally fine too. There's no obligations. There's no secret sales tactics. There's no you must join my program. I don't want you to join the program if you're not a right fit for me. And I definitely don't want you to join the program if you don't want to be around me. That's not how I want to live my life. I only want to be around people that are a right fit for me, and I'm a right fit for them. Like my clients. I fucking love them all. I love them all. And well, I think they love me too. So that's why it's such an enjoyable experience. I don't want the wrong people around us. I don't want the wrong people in my life. And you shouldn't want them either. So if you're not a right fit, there's no obligations, man. I really don't want you in the program if you're not a right fit. So just click the link below, schedule a free coaching call right now. And as I said, we'll just figure out where you are right now. We'll figure out where you want to be in the next 12 months. And if it makes sense for us to work together, if you're a right fit for me and I'm a right fit for you, we'll work together and I'll help you find that inner peace, develop core confidence, and annihilate social anxiety so you can start living the life that you really want to live. So you can learn to flow just like this. Either way, you're going to walk away with newfound clarity as where you are right now, where you want to be in the next 12 months, and what's currently holding you back from achieving that on your own. So the only way that you kind of lose is if you don't click the link now and schedule a call. And I don't want you to lose. So click it, and I'll talk to you soon.